Subbies. Welcome back to another episode of the Simpli Living Podcast. Okay, so if you guys have already seen episode 2 or listened to episode 2 of the Simpli Living Podcast, that was 31 days to a more productive you. I've actually taken some of those cues, so go back and listen to it if you haven't already listened to it. But this morning, I got up, made my bed, I drank water first thing. I had kind of a self-care day. I took a long bath, and then I did go out to get my nails done, and I've been very productive. I had to take my sister to the airport at 6 a.m., so that's how I started my day. And then I went to the gym, guys, so I got my at least 20 minutes of exercise. All of these are tips to becoming more productive, and you can check it out in the latest episode of the Simpli Living Podcast, which was 31 days to a more productive you. Please go back and check that out, share with your friends and everybody else. But today we're back at it with Ready to Love season. They call it 3, I call it season 4. We met the new cast last week. You guys got to see my honest opinion, my honest reactions, and who I think should make it all the way to the end, who I'm rooting for already. But now we're on episode number 3. The tables have turned, and we're going to watch it. I have it queued up, guys. So let's get to it. Okay, so while they're giving a recap of what happened last episode, let me give you my top picks right now. So if I had my little bracket together for the Ready to Love bracket, which I may actually create and start inserting it into here, but I think that I like Liz and David together. They had a really good connection with God, and they sang together and all that jazz. And then I like Joel and Bernicia. They both have children. Joel, he's a widow, and he has a set of twins that are 8 years old, and I think Bernicia has 3 children that are girls, and they are all they're all girls, and she has an 18-year-old, I think is the oldest. But I think that they would be a cute couple together. They could have them a little blended family of 5. She wouldn't have to have any more children if she doesn't want any. And then my third couple, so I don't know that I like them yet, but they knew each other from the past. So sometimes I root for those couples. So there is Alexis, who is the former first lady, and then Jason, the basketball coach, and he's actually her son's basketball coach. So honestly, the only reason I think that I hope it works is because she didn't already express her interest in this man. She's going to be dating him on this show, and it would be super awkward if they don't work out and he's still her son's basketball coach. So that kind of could get a little bit, twisted. So I guess we'll see how it goes, guys. I'm going to go ahead and press play. Okay, so they're about to go to brunch. So it's the whole group of the people that are left. So last week, Khalil, which is a guy, he was a teacher, and Christian, who was the mail carrier, who was also a guy, went home. So the tables have turned. That's the episode. And I guess it's now in the men's hands to get rid of women. But so I had to just walk past. And so I realized what it is. I didn't need some foundation wear. I don't know if y'all are familiar, but like a spank or just some shapewear. She really does. She's not, a heavy-set woman. She's not sloppy or anything, but it's just like she could just, when I say the rest of the women are snatched, if she just put on a little bit of foundation wear, she'd be like two numbers higher. I don't know what her number is. Maybe an 8. She'd be an 8 if she had on some foundation wear. She's pretty. She's nice. She's small. She actually isn't a large woman or oversized. But even me, I have to wear foundation wear to make sure things don't jiggle, make sure things in the right place. Yeah, that's what she's missing. So Ida is so interested in Ron.
All right. Last night was different. But guess what? It's also necessary. That's the only way that we get to our final 3 couples that are ready for a commitment. All right?
Yes.
So, the gentlemen that are still here, take pride in knowing that right now, the ladies in this room think you got what it takes.
Appreciate it, ladies. Appreciate it,
You,
ladies.
Joel. Yeah. They're looking like criminal minds. I see. So as y'all know, we still have 10 women here and only 8 men. This week, it's time to even it out.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm sure some of the fellas already got
They
their
might be getting rid of 2 women, guys.
Ladies, it's still time for you to make your mark. But, not that much time. Here comes the next curveball.
Oh, Lord.
One of our lovely ladies
Oh, come on.
will be going home at the end of this brunch.
Oh my goodness. So they are turning things all the way around this time around. They just eliminate people all willy-nilly. They ain't even waiting till like the end of the episode. It's too much. It's too stressful, honey. I couldn't been on this
Have
season.
some mimosas, and then we'll talk.
At the bunch of ladies are a little bit nervous. We know that this is the time that we can get eliminated. So we got to get down to get down. Okay? I'm not trying to go home without my man. Oh, you know,
6 years.
I didn't know you did call me. You didn't bring it up.
I said it yesterday. You didn't hear it.
So I was a little nervous
Oh,
because
Lord.
when I say comedian, sometimes people expect me to just be jokey all the time. And that's not really my personality. I mean, I joke, but not the whole entire time.
Part of why I don't mention it.
Okay, so Tressa, she is a comedian, and so it's kind of like one of those things when people ask her what she does. She does stand-up comedy, but she said she kind of hesitates to tell people that because they think you supposed to just be funny. Every time she talks, she just supposed to be funny, and so that's a little bit annoying. It seems like she's mingling. She's talking to Ron. Now, if you guys recall, Ron was the gentleman who does the caskets. He sells caskets wholesale, I believe. But he was also the one who told Andrea, the flight attendant, that if they were together, you know, she needs a flight attendant job. Basically, she needs to stay at home and keep the kids because they're not a temporary situation. She was over that conversation immediately. So I don't know about the comedian. I don't think she would sit well with trying to have to stay home based on his thoughts either. Let's see.
To men a lot, and sometimes they assume that I'm trying to be this homie. I'm trying to find my man.
Yeah.
You have an interesting aura about you. So it's like, you want to get to know you, want to talk to you, have a conversation with you, and just say, as soon as you walked in the room, I was like, I felt the energy, I wanted to come over and talk to you.
That's awesome.
I really feel it about 100%.
I was feeling Troy a little bit, but in the pit of my stomach, I was like, I don't really know if you're being real with me. You and these kids.
So Alexis, former First Lady, Miss Alexis Fly, she's sitting down having a conversation with Mr. Troy, and he's telling her, you know, like something drew me to you when you came in today. You know, I wanted to come talk to you. But she said something in the pit of her stomach, woman, that is intuition. So her woman's intuition is kicking in, and she don't know if he being real, if he just saying what she want to hear. She don't know. We're going to see him.
It was fun talking to you.
Yes.
You know, he was telling me that I'm definitely his type. He texted me I was his number one. But I have a feeling that there's some other number ones as well.
I just wanted to find out. It's kind of fun, you know? Let me tell you, the attraction I have for you, when you walked in, I felt the energy.
Lord, he done told Amber the attorney, Chrysanthemum.
I feel a little better vibe with you than anybody. Yeah. So let me read your palm.
Nah, he talking to Andrea. This is Troy, guys, the 51-year-old.
Troy, sometime soon.
Really? Is that so?
The bachelor of all bachelors, never married, 51 years old. He look like a player.
No, I don't need any room.
You got a whole color scheme going on right now.
Right? I feel like you're getting nervous.
I promise you.
I feel like you are.
Do you feel like you can marry yourself? I'm kidding.
So David, I actually love David. He is so attractive. He's sitting down talking to Stacy. They having a nice little conversation outside at brunch. Here comes Ida, moseying on up next to him and sits right on the opposite side of him. Now they on a small little, look like a little love seat or something. I don't know, but it's real tight. She comes sit right next beside him, child.
It's tough to see who really wants Chris and who wants KG Smooth. And in the whole situation, with Naya, we brought up finances, and I don't want any human being to feel as if I have something over them because I pay majority of the bills or I pay the big bills.
I don't mind splitting stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous for me to say, give me all your checks. How do we flourish? How do we even progress together as a household?
Oh, the conversation with Amber was dope.
So Chris is the guy from last season. Mr. KG Smooth himself from season 3 of Ready to Love. And he's back. And the reason he kind of got sent home last time is because the young lady he was dating, Naya, she was like, her friend was like, well, how you feel about, paying bills? Who does that? He was like, well, we could split the mortgage. She like, we don't split no mortgages around here. I don't know what you thought. And so now he's having that kind of same conversation, but with the attorney Amber. And she's saying, I don't mind splitting stuff. It would be crazy for us to for me to assume you're going to use all of your money on our bills, because how do we grow and build and all that stuff if you're kind of spending all your money? Which, okay, I appreciate how this is going because the conversation is between the two of them and not the friend of a friend, because it was all bad last time. So he already in with Amber. And I do think it's kind of crazy to ask somebody to pay for everything. However, if they are offering, accept it. That's it. I don't expect it, but thank you. Thank you. If they do offer, then, let's be honest. I ain't gonna turn it down. Okay.
I was just like, wow, I like how she flows and everything. So I was really feeling her vibe.
We're equal. Exactly.
They're having brunch at a place called Culture
Kind of being able to
in
fit you in
Houston.
my mind. With Andrea, at first I was thinking, hey, I haven't spent enough time with her, but I got to thinking, no, I've had time to have conversations with her. I just don't feel like a real spark, a real chemistry there. She's gorgeous, but there's nothing there that really makes me say, hey, let me keep digging into this.
So AJ is pretty much over the cat lady,
Did change
Andrea.
my feelings on AJ because our conversation was really short and kind of dry. And that I guess maybe is on both of our parts. Sorry to fill you away in that conversation.
No, because I seen you when you came in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gorgeous.
You're like 6'5".
You can eyeball
We
it,
little
huh?
people.
You be measuring. All right, you gotta get what size shoes is there.
13.
Damn, you pretty good.
AJ and Stacy chatting it up.
I'm good with measurements.
I'm gonna leave that one all the way alone.
He's 6'5" and she's the little, pint-sized, petite, very short lady.
Ida came into.
Here's Ida again, guys. When I say Ida has like a sixth sense of interrupting a moment, she done came and sat on a smaller couch with AJ and Stacy. And she just keep on going after the same people Stacy talking to. It's too much.
The food, everything was amazing. With the exception of...
Listen, this is too much. It's almost like she's like, oh, Stacy's into him. Let me go and follow them. It's like she following her around. Not to mention, they both have on this new colored dress. They're kind of the same skin complexion. Now, Ida got the short hair, and Stacy today, she actually has a long ponytail. I think her hair was, I don't remember her hair from last week, honestly. But it just looked like she followed her around. First it was David on the love seat. Now they really in a chair. Stacy and AJ are in a chair. And here comes Ida. And she never says, excuse me, am I interrupting anything? Or asks to sit down. She just plops herself right beside him. Ooh, it's a mess. It looked like Stacy doesn't like it much.
Ida. They got another man here. Go sit down on somebody else's lap. Leave me alone.
So David asked a question to Vernisha, who is the single mom of 3, and the comedian Tressa, about what if a guy says, I just want to take it real slow. I want to be abstinent, abstain from sex. And they like, okay, how long? Because can y'all put up with that? Could y'all be okay with that? And he says, till marriage. I can't wait to see their reactions.
Right.
When we get married.
Manisha like, well, when we get married, 6 months to a year?
For me personally, I don't judge nobody, but I would like to just kind of be with somebody that has these real strong standards.
So David wants to wait to marriage.
Not important.
I can dig it.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I can.
Tressa's not doing it.
And I can. I've done
So
it
it's
before.
not Tressa and
We
David.
are in our 40s, and
She done been there, done that, and she ain't doing it again.
I thought that today.
Ida's dress is super cute. She is slim. She just need on a, I don't want to say girdle, but you know, spank foundation wear. That's all I want for her to put on. She'd be perfect. Listen. Just a little bit more put together.
Wow.
If I could connect with anybody besides Ron, it would be Dietrich. I like Dietrich too. I think Dietrich has a lot of patience, and anybody who talks to me will have to have patience.
They look cute together. Dietrich and
I'm
Ida.
sorry for reading your mind. It's a talent that I try not to like use on people.
Sure.
But
Sure.
okay, great.
You nervous?
No, but whenever people start talking about cooking, I don't want it to be a level of judgment.
No, I'm not judging.
So Dietrich is the
So,
chef.
You asked me was I nervous, and I told you why I was nervous.
I found out that Ida actually was just nervous, and that's why she's giving the homie vibe, only because she was joking so much. You know, that was her defense mechanism.
You and I have had.
Fun.
The first time he said she talked
But
too
I want to
much.
know Ida.
Hey guys, so basically Dietrich is telling Ida, listen, you cool. You joke with me all the time. We be laughing and kicking. However, even though I'm attracted to you physically, I need to get to know you. We need to have some serious moments. I understand you nervous, so like cut that out because I'm getting homie vibes. It's a point well taken. She should take note. Keep moving.
Everybody, let's get right
Tommy
to it.
is back.
Amen. I made that decision clear.
That's it.
Alright, food pie. It was tense. I didn't have deep conversations with everyone there. I thought, hey, it could be me, and this may be it.
We got to make difficult decisions in order to get to our goal, right?
Right.
All right. Now it is time for the tough part. The woman the men just haven't connected with. Is Ida.
Ida, gone home. Day one. I called it.
Quite ready to love.
Literally called it last week. Just like I did Khalil and then again Christian.
Maybe you should be asking them why they sent me home. That's what I'm thinking right
3-0 right
now.
now.
It matters what they think, right? Because I'm going home.
Ida, please.
And
say
I feel
goodbye.
bad because she seems like a nice young woman. She's beautiful,
It wasn't nice to me, so don't say that.
but they weren't really into it. Aw.
Yeah, they come line up out here and say one by one because they're all like, you're not. I feel like everybody was all hugging on me, grabbing on me, and rubbing on my ass yesterday. Oh, you need an explanation, but they don't. That's how I feel.
This is stressful.
From here, it's time to start dating old school. I want you to ask each other out, have some fun,
How cute.
be honest, really explore your connections with one another. Fellas, remember, the ball is still in your court. At the end of this week, we'll meet up, we'll find out who's making connections, and who's the one additional lady who will end their journey this week. Okay, see y'all in a couple days. You got your work cut out.
Okay, guys, we are at the point now where they've gotten rid of Ida, the first woman. So now the men actually have to ask the women out, or the women, however they want to do it, and say, hey, let's go on some dates. They're going to go on dates. Like I said, I love this season because it's reminiscent of season 2 of Ready to Love when they were in Atlanta and they were actually in their element, in their city, so they can take them to their favorite spots and all that stuff. So they actually getting to go out in Houston. So I'll get a chance to see a little bit of Houston through their eyes. I've been to Houston a long time ago. I need to go back because apparently they got some fine men in Houston. Okay. Alexis is on a date with AJ. Alexis is the former first lady, and AJ is the guy from Chicago who was the worst date because he didn't pay that one time.
I'm just saying,
today I'm going on a date with Alexis. The leather was a nice touch with the thigh-high boots. I was not mad at it at all, but I definitely want to get an opportunity to see what's there outside of.
So he likes her style. She says she goes by Alexis Fly.
Why do you think I picked gold?
Because you need something that shines.
So they are at a candle making place and they get to pick fragrances out. This is such a cute date. If any of you guys are looking for a cute date, kind of similar to this, my sorority sister, my line sister, Ashley, she has a company called Re-Wax and Unwine. So wine as in drinking, sipping wine, and then re-wax as in candle wax. And so they actually sell candle making kits, especially if you guys are still trying to like stay away from large crowds. But if you're in like New Jersey area, New Jersey, maybe New York area, they actually have events kind of like the paint and sips or the painting with the twist. So I think it's pretty cool. You guys check her out. I think it's Re-Wax and Unwine.com or something of the sort. I'll put that up on the screen for those of you who are watching via YouTube. But if you're listening to the podcast, then yes, just check out at Re-Wax and Unwine on Instagram. So Re-Wax, W-Wax, and then Unwine with the E instead of unwind. Okay?
Good answer. Right now, on this day with AJ, I'm very excited.
I'm trying to get used to all of this. Definitely taking the lead here.
If you know me, you know I love a tall chocolate brother, and he is all that. I actually call him Chocolate Drip.
What do we drop in first? I can't drop the drops in first?
Well, no, we got the little things to see if we like how it smells. Right?
Oh, I see.
Test some stuff
Test
out.
it out before I just go all the way in. I'm just going to go all the way in.
You seem like an all the way in type of woman.
Yeah, so you can help me out. Slow me down a little bit.
What if I want to speed you up?
Ooh, you want me to go that fast?
You might be right. I might need to slow you down.
There's definitely some sensual chemistry going on there. It was ironic that we're at a place called Love Mate.
Oh, it's called Love Mate. That's a cute place.
Imagine if I go ahead and caress your face right now. What that's going to lead to.
She just grabbed his beard.
To something I definitely love the touch. It's one of my love languages. Hugs, kisses, all of that.
Okay. What?
So she just said one of her love languages is physical touch. And I've noticed that because at the brunch earlier, she was like walking past people, rubbing their head, like some of the bald guys, touching their shoulders. And then she just reached up and grabbed his beard. She didn't ask, she touched it. I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? If any men are watching, any bearded men are listening, go ahead and let me know how y'all feel about a woman just touching your beard without asking. I know as women, we don't really like people just touching our hair without asking. So just a question. Let me know what y'all think.
But then why are you sitting so far away at this?
Oh, can we come closer? Is that close enough?
Yeah, that'll do.
It's just easy to talk to him, and it's easy to be sensual with him. It's just that chemistry. It's very romantic, and who knows where it might go. Your swag is on 1,000.
I appreciate
You
that.
definitely carry a form of masculinity that's real confident. Obviously, you're attractive. I mean, and you make music. I love that. That means you can put me to bed. I hope you can't sing, because if you can sing, yeah, it's a wrap. Panties probably dropping.
Alexis
is a little bit aggressive. She comes on very strong. So in last episode, she was talking to the basketball coach and letting her, shooting her shot, basically letting him know, hey, I've been watching you for a while. I'm attracted to you. I want to date you. You my son's coach. She goes a little too far. Like, he's already feeling her. He's already into her. That means he's physically attracted to her. They have a good vibe, a good chemistry. But she going too far. Why we got to talk about your panties dropping? Like, this is the first date, in essence. Like, you've met him and seen him a couple times. Had little bite-sized pieces of communication. But, like, I think you're doing the most, Alexis.
You can out-aggress me a little bit. Why you do that?
Okay.
He thinks the same way I do.
No.
On my feet when I'm getting a pedicure, but if you have other ways I can experience it, I would definitely.
AJ said, you're out-aggressing me at this point. Let me be the man.
It got to the point where we still making a candle.
I wonder how long it takes before it gets hard. Oh.
her sexual innuendos,
when
guys,
you rush
like,
into sex, it can cloud
it's
your
just
judgment
like
really, really
too
quickly.
much.
And that's something I definitely don't want to do in this process.
You were married, right?
Yeah, I was married to a pastor.
You don't made a lot of innuendos towards that being a pastor's wife.
I did, and people are gonna feel some type of way, but at the end of the day, sex is very important to me. I mean, I think we as adults we should be able to have that conversation.
Absolutely. No, I'm not trying to away from it. I just noticed that it is a conversation that's had. Like,
I think because I am very physically attracted to you in that way.
I find it sexually attractive, but that's not my focus. My focus while I'm here is to find someone that I have a genuine connection with that can be my wife.
So Kyra, the attorney, and Jason, the basketball coach, they're on a date at this place called Sweet Paris. You guys check it out. This is in Houston, so those of you living in Texas, you probably know where this stuff is, but any of you guys thinking of traveling to Texas, I'm going to tell you, they got some cute little places, and I'm going to name them as I see them. So Kyra, if you guys remember from last week, Kyra walked in this cute little bodycon mini green dress, and Jason caught Jason's eye immediately. He went and grabbed her up, was like, hey, so I think he really liked her. She probably hadn't even got a chance to see him yet, but they had a good vibe, a good chemistry. So, yeah, and this is the guy that Alexis, who was just on a date with AJ, the overly sexual former pastor's wife, she's very much into.
I set up this date with Kyra. I see her walking up, and the only thing I could think to myself was how beautiful she was. Ooh.
AJ's a PE teacher.
I got a dress for you today.
Okay, I'm happy. I want to know, just things you like to do.
I do like to dance. I do like to travel.
Okay.
I can be a little competitive.
Really?
Yeah.
Your boy athlete too,
Okay, tell me more,
Of course, I played basketball.
Okay.
Growing up, I actually was on the swim team for 2 years. Diving school and everything. I'm a great diver.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at you.
I know. What brother went to diving school?
Jason, he seems really cute and he's so cute. And it's, I don't know if he's into me. I don't know about that part. But he's cute. Okay, how about that? He smiled a lot. I smiled back at him. Okay. So hopefully there's something that was between us. Is there any regrets that you have? There's something that you wish you would have done that you haven't done so far?
Anything that has crossed my mind, I either started or I did.
If you started, you did it. Does that mean that you
Most
did
of them.
complete it, see it through?
Most of them I have, but there have been some I did not follow through.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been depression.
I had depression in my family and it ended in a very traumatic way. So I am cautious of that. I just want to make sure that that is not going to be a big red flag. Have you ever done counseling?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I feel like we should pause just because of the magnitude of the statement that was just made. So Jason was saying some things he didn't follow through with in life, and it was probably maybe because he was battling with depression. And then Kyra mentions that she had depression represented in her family before, and it ended quite tragically. And so she wants to make sure that it's not a real red flag. And I mean, that's important. Mental health is important. If you guys are suffering from depression, then definitely seek help. Try to seek a professional, and hopefully they can help you through it so that it will not end in tragedy. And I know some people probably are going to feel a way about her saying that, but it's honest, and she knows what she can and can't handle. And so I guess we'll see how this goes.
They're good.
Mm-hmm.
They know all the right questions to ask.
A good one does.
Broke me down. Stop crying and stuff. Yeah, but I'm grateful that I did that.
Okay.
When I told Kyra
Jason's
about
cute.
that experience, just looking in her eyes, I can tell it was a relief. This man is opening up to me as I'm opening up to him when we're having a real dialogue. And that's hard to do between two people, so I believe she took that well. Well, I definitely enjoy you coming out, sharing your beautiful personality.
Thank you.
You look great, so that's self-explanatory.
But this,
Let's get it.
Hey, Joel. I don't know if it's Joel or Joel.
partners of the day, David and Troy.
There he is.
Oh, it looked like he on a little double date,
They was
or
like, hey man, this is what we can do. We landed with a place where we can go paint and drink a little wine. So we called the babies up.
triple date. So David, Joel, and
Andrea and Emma, they were all down.
Troy, Troy's a 51-year-old. Joel is the father of 2 twins, the widower. Yeah, whichever, I can't remember. And then
I think we're gonna have
David. So they have Liz with them. Liz and David, remember, had a cute connection. Vernisha, who had a cute connection with Joel. And then Troy and Amber. Amber is the youngest one, which is crazy. She the youngest one. I believe she's 31. And then Troy, who is 51. They out here hooking up. Yep, 31 and then 51. So they're there together, and she's the attorney.
good time, you heard me?
All I know is I'm happy to be here with you.
Okay, I literally screwed that up. It was Andrea, the cat lady, who was a flight attendant, who's there. So Liz is not in the picture, even though she did have a cute little connection with David. Andrea is there, and apparently she's talking to Troy, not Amber.
Cheers again.
I like Troy. We had this natural kind of flirting type of thing. So,
Andrea's 38 and Troy's 51.
I think it will only get better. I'm feeling him.
Okay, Liz is there too. So this is just a group situation. It's not even like a threesome date wise. Like, they didn't pick a person and be like, I want to be here with you. It's just like they invited a group of girls and it's 3 of the guys so they can all get to know each other. Because I'm like, wait, we got too many women as opposed to men. But I know that Troy was feeling Amber, the 31-year-old, and now it seems like he's all, snuggling up to Andrea, the cat woman, the flight attendant. I'm going to stop calling her the cat lady. Okay. So how they are, it looks like Troy is on a two-on-one date. So he has Andrea and he has Amber, flight attendant and lawyer. He's a regional manager or something. And then we have David actually talking to Vernisha. Y'all, I got a Vernisha. Yeah. So David is actually talking to Vernisha. Now, he was the one who asked her earlier, her and the comedian, if they would wait to marriage to have sex and be abstinent. And then Joel, who I thought had a good connection with Vernisha, he's actually talking to Liz, who has a connection with David as well.
Shocking is going on.
I think that you are a real, genuine person. I can feel it.
That's a real conversation.
This is a real conversation. It's very easy to talk to when you're talking, you're not BSing. And then it doesn't hurt that you're very handsome too. Me and Joey just have so much fun together, and so he's high up there on my list. I like it.
Okay, that's Liz, the 40-year-old. She's the one who was hasn't been in a relationship for 17 years. She owns her own production company. And then Joel, you guys know Joel by now, probably. He has the twins.
Swag.
I ain't got no swag.
Don't play. Don't play.
No swag. But I appreciate it.
What's your favorite international destination?
I can tell you what a place I want to go, like Brazil,
Oh, I want to go to Brazil too.
Spain, a lot of places in Italy.
Romantic.
So Troy didn't ask 3 different people last week if they want to go on a trip. He loved to travel. So now Andrea is asking him about his favorite international destination. And he's telling him where he wants to go. So I think they got a little bit in common. She's a flight attendant. He loves to travel. Sounds like it'd be a match made in the sky.
Yes. Could be one of our first dates. Conceive our first child there.
What? Really?
Yes.
That would be cute. That's a cute story.
Y'all should see Amber's face because she just sitting here listening to this all go down.
So what's on your vision board now?
I got a ring on my vision board.
Oh, you got a ring on the vision board?
Yeah.
And I like that.
Joel, I like the most. I think our
And
connection is
she loves
easy.
Joel.
But he has expressed to me his interest in Liz.
I like the colors on this one.
But he came over to me and was like, you good? So it was a sense of making sure that I was still okay, in the midst of that. So I appreciated that.
So guys, they on a whole group date when it's like 5 to 7 people present. And Mr. Troy, Mr. Player, Mr. Forever Bachelor, Bachelor for Life, he out here like super PDA, kissing all up on Andrea, the flight attendant, like all on her neck and in her hair and all this stuff. Mind you, he got a hold of the girl that's sitting there too. This is a lot. He's very forward.
I feel like it was a game for him.
I see what I'm looking at. I know what I'm looking at.
Amber is not feeling it. She done with him. And I don't blame her.
Hello. How you doing, sir? Funny seeing you here. I know, right? Hello. She's sassafras. So cute.
Okay, so Alexa's out here dating it up. She on a second date, but this time it's with Dietrich. I cannot recall what he does, but he was the very first guy that came to the mixer last week. And of course, Alexis is the overly sexual former First Lady Alexis Fly.
So Dietrich set up this.
Dietrich is the chef.
Cooking class.
Oh, okay. It's a group date too. Chris is there, and Kyra is also
AJ
there.
And Stacy,
AJ and Stacy.
And Jason.
And then Jason and Tressa. So it's another group setting.
Yes, Lord.
So what I do like about this is it's a little bit less awkward than going on just a one-on-one date with people you really... I mean, I guess you always going to date with somebody you don't know, right? But they get a chance, especially because in this scenario, they have to make sure they're making connections with multiple people so they don't get voted off. And in order for you not to just like blindly go to one person and never get a chance to know anyone else, in these group settings, you can see who naturally like vibes and naturally kind of migrates to each other. So I kind of like that. Okay, this is a cooking class at a place called Well Done in Houston.
Ain't nothing wrong over here. It's nothing but moisture, okay?
Again, Alexis was coming on real strong and aggressive.
That's some sexy change right there.
I just want somebody to talk to Alexis. Like, I'm sure she probably in her past life as a first lady had to be, you know, mild-mannered and not so vocal, and so she's probably just expressing herself because she's probably was married a while. I don't even know how many years she was married, but like she is doing the most, especially in this group setting. And AJ, who she went on a date with, he up here commenting like she's still doing too much, she's still too aggressive, she calling the cheese sexy. Now you're doing too much. We ain't gotta talk about the food like that now. Too much, absolutely too much.
Just not my thing.
She didn't turn AJ off all the way.
Probably some more pepper. Okay.
Stacey and AJ got a cute little chill vibe.
Now what the chef say?
It's real good. I like it. The level of.
Oh, that's cute. So Tressa, the comedian, goes over and feeds. Now, she's not a part of his team because they are in pairs. She goes over and feeds Dietrich, who is the chef, and asks him, like, how you think about, you know, what you think about that? She want to know, like, listen, I gets down in the kitchen, and he says that it was really good, and he also likes the deliverer, so that's cute.
Have you been to any of the spice stores here? No. We should do a date.
So Dietrich just asked Tressa on a date to one of the spice stores because she was asking, you know, letting him know, like, hey, I use smoked paprika. I actually like it a lot in a lot of my dishes. You know, he's a chef. So I guess they kind of got that in common. Looks like she likes to cook, or she know a little bit something about being in the kitchen, a little way around the kitchen. And so he was like, have you been to the spice stores around here? Like, we should go on a date. That was so cute.
I initially was interested in Dietrich, but at the mixer, we had a one-on-one conversation, a very grown conversation. As far as visual, am I your type, or are you more so
I used to be attracted to your type. But now I'm attracted to a different type.
We turned into, okay, we're going to turn into friends.
Most definitely. Because we should do that. The vibe was good, it felt right. So I was like, I need to give Tressa a chance. I need to open up and just see where this can take us. You got
Okay, so that was real interesting, and I definitely have to pause here. So, Tressa, I'm gonna have to try to find a full body picture of Tressa. She is gorgeous. She has this huge reddish fro situation. Looks like a wig to me. She is voluptuous or curvaceous, so she has like shape. She has body, and her conversation at the brunch earlier, or the mix, I can't remember which, she was talking to Dietrich, the chef, who she's talking to now, and she asked, like, are you attracted to my type physically? Are you attracted to me? And he told her that you're what I used to be attracted to, but now I'm attracted to something different. So in that moment, they switched gears and they were just gonna be friends. He wasn't really into her apparently. And so she just asked him, like, and I appreciate that, like, instead of her just going with the flow, ask the man, what made you change your mind? Because when we talked before, you weren't really feeling this, but he said he likes her vibe. It was like, he should open up himself and give it a try and, try something else. So I like it. That was a grown woman and grown man move for them to have this candid conversation about physical appearance, and instead of just trying to sugarcoat things and say, oh, you're cute, but, basically he was like, well, I used to be attracted to, women like you. I'm no longer attracted to that. I have a different type. But just because of their vibe and what they talking about, he's like, you know what, I'm going to ask her on her date, because why not give her a shot? Which in my mind, if that used to be your type, I don't feel like it just stopped being your type. That just seems weird to me. Unless he was like overweight himself and lost weight. Now he like little small girls. I don't know. I guess we need to learn more about him to know the truth.
the dopest vibe out of all of them. That's why you vibe.
He said she got the dopest vibe.
Dietrich says, I have the best
The
personality
dopest
of all of the women. Now, that technically could be a bad thing, because you never heard no man say, man, look at her personality. That's just not typically what they say. So that can work positive and negative.
She worked.
I'm taking it as a compliment.
Yeah, I would take it as a compliment, Tressa. Okay, so apparently, even though they cooked with the partner, they're kind of playing musical chairs, or they're doing like a kind of speed date situation. So they're like trying the meal or the dish. So okra, they had macaroni and cheese, they had some kind of pork dish. So they're going to each of the tables trying what they cooked as pairs. And so Stacey was talking to Chris from last season. Lord, they weren't really feeling each other apparently. Well, he said he liked her. She opened up a little bit, but she was on to the next real fast. Chef Dietrich just left Chris. Oh, poor Chris.
The food. I did jam AJ up a little bit, but in my opinion, rightfully so. I was still holding a bit of a grudge against him, but I am looking forward to seeing, is he going to be my El Cheapo, or is he going to be my little handsome chocolate drop?
Okay, so Kyra has moved along and she's at AJ's table. If you guys remember from last week, AJ is the guy that Kyra went out with. I don't know if she said it was about a year ago or years ago. And he said he found himself in a pickle. So he went to pay for dinner or whatever, and his credit card got declined. So she had already had an open tab because she got to the bar before he did, and she had put her drink, opened the tab with her drink. She assumed, since this was a date that he asked her out on, he was going to close the tab. But when it did not happen that way, it sounds like she got left with the bill for the drinks, the meal, and everything else. And he didn't recover well because he didn't tell her at the moment. And then he came back with some kind of snarky comment like, you need to change your perspective on, who pays for dates and stuff like that. But he was embarrassed, and instead of just saying what happened, that's how that thing went down. So anyway, they talked about it last week, and she claims she's going to give him another try. But she's still up here holding grudges. She's still saying, we're going to see if he's still El Cheapo. She said it was the worst date ever that she's had in her life. Or he going to be a little chocolate drop because he's as attractive, and she probably likes him. And then that happened. And she just was like, it stay on the Upits day. Okay, I don't know pig Latin, but basically she was like, deuces, I don't want nothing to do with you.
My tops and bottoms have changed. I had wrote Paw off, but he wants to take me on a date.
Now she keeps talking about Paw, but that's because Dietrich has an older child and that child has a child. So he is a Paw now, he is a granddad, but he's also the guy who said that he wanted more children. He wanted another child. I think he has two daughters with two different mothers, if I'm not mistaken. But he wants another kid so he could have a kid that's younger than his grandchild. And what's her name? Tressa, the comedian. And since she had wrote him off, her people have switched. So now she's giving him a chance. He's moved up to her top.
I'm interested to see how would that work. If I'm not your type, how could it go anywhere else? So maybe I've become his type. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, I got a question for you guys. What do you think about that? So I'm watching another show that I loved, Married at First Sight. It comes on Lifetime Network. It is one of my favorite shows. I've watched every season since it's been in the U.S. And I even started watching some of the Australia shows. It actually started in Australia. But there is a couple on her this season, and the guy that is married at first sight to this woman, he is not attracted to her. He sleeps with her on a regular basis, but he is not attracted to her. And I don't know if it could change. So I just think that physical, I don't know. I just honestly don't know. What do you guys think? So me personally, I feel like I have to be physically attracted to you. I know people say, oh, somebody's personality grew on me and all that stuff. And in my experience, that doesn't really happen. If there's no chemistry, if there's no physical attraction, then I'm probably not going to be interested very long. But Tressa's saying maybe, because she's like, how's this going to work if I'm not your type? Maybe I am his type now. Maybe I've changed into his type. I don't think that's a thing. Let me know in the comments below. Do y'all think that's a thing? Can you change into somebody's type? I mean, I know they say women tend to like people for their personalities and not so much their appearance. And so I'm not going to say it's all appearance, but like that swagger, that chemistry, that vibe. If that stuff is not there, whether you look really good or, not so great, but if you don't look so great and you have all that stuff, it can still work. That's what I think. I don't know about for men, though. I've heard that they're really big on visuals. Let me know. Let me know down below.
Today is the first day that the guys are going to be meeting with no ladies there.
What's that now, baby? Good, man. Good.
I know we're going to have a tough choice figuring out who we're going to send home this week.
Welcome to our sanctuary. This is the gentleman's lounge, all right? This is the place where we relax and we handle our business at the same time. I got one rule in here. We lay it all out on the table. In this room, we keep it real. All right? All right? Come on, who want to go first?
This side note, my guy right here, man, came through for me the other day, man. I was moving out of my apartment, man, and he called me. Yeah, Joel, man, he called me.
Oh,
man,
Joel.
hey,
He helped Jason move.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm moving. He said, hey, man, I'm going to come through and help you out. And I was like, dang.
Dang, they're like best friends already.
He was down like this.
Oh, Joel crying. Y'all, this just touched my heart. He is sensitive. First of all, he's thoughtful, kind, and caring. Listen, he is a widow. He got 2 kids he's raising. They're twins. They're 8 years old. And now this brother that he just met, he hit him up and said, what you doing? He said, I'm trying to move. He said, I'm going to come through and help you. So he give him a shout out. Jason Bespo goes give him a shout out. And Joel is crying. Like it touched him, like, cause he probably like that. That's just what we do. He's from the South. Where's he from? Louisiana. He got that Southern hospitality.
That's my dude. I already told him this is my guy, like hands down.
Okay, I respect you, brother. I thank you, man, because
Thank you for saying that, man.
I just got to give you credit's due. That's a good man.
I appreciate that, bro.
That's what's up.
Let me tell you something, dude. I ain't about to apologize for shitting no tip, bro.
No, not at all. Not at all.
He owed me nothing, bro. I wanted to go help him out. I don't think, it has to be just I'm looking for a woman. We can look for brotherhood too, you heard me? So that's why I'm at with that, you know what I'm saying?
Let me say this, man. When we as black men start caring and supporting each other like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for sure. You will be surprised how much better we will be.
No doubt, absolutely.
And we
Y'all,
not
I
stepping
wanna
on each other to
cry.
get to the
Like,
top.
I'm
We all are
touched.
supporting each other like this. That's
This
what
is
I
a
want.
lovely, lovely,
So I
lovely
commend you,
setting.
man.
I love
I
it.
wasn't expecting him to say that, so he caught me off guard. You did.
Mm-hmm.
I know him and his mama. You know, I got a relationship with his mama now. That
He
thing
done
is
met the
nice.
mama.
Nice, right? You know?
He done met the mama.
I'm messing with you, bro. Alright. So, get into me straight. No chaser. How was the date this week? Did
I just went on one date and it was a group date, but surprisingly, on the date, somebody moved up into the top 4.
Who was that?
Tressa.
What?
So Dietrich even moved her up. So maybe that is a thing. She done changed it to his type.
Exactly.
And it wasn't nowhere near the top.
None.
You remember that?
That was all the way in the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, every conversation that we've had has been dope. Because she's just like a real woman.
He said she the dopest, and he meant that.
Somebody I like what I'm looking at.
Hey, Trey.
So Joel liked Tressa too.
That.
She a fire starter, I'll tell you that. She had on some thigh-high boots. We talked about a little bit of everything. The only thing that kind of alarmed me is Alexis is aggressive.
Here's Alexis.
AJ does not like the aggressive Alexis.
Mix. She definitely in the mix.
Jason.
Kyra completely opened up. This girl
So
completely blew me out the
Jason
water.
really liked his
And I
date
looked
with
her in
Kyra.
the eye, and I told her, look, I'm about to pursue you.
So is Kyra your top?
Yes, she is.
Troy. We went on a group date.
You know, I had Andre on one side and Amber on the other side.
How did that work out for you?
Interesting. It was interesting. Let me just say
Were
that.
you uncomfortable?
Nah. Yeah, I got this.
So tell me about Amber.
Amber's fun.
Did she let you know anything that she didn't like?
Kissing on the cheek was a bit much for her.
Everything good? It's not good.
She thought that was a little too soon.
A bit too soon. She didn't necessarily tell me with words, but I could tell. I could tell by her looks. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. But you do a lot of kissing though, Troy. I know that.
Well, you know, you gotta kind of.
So Troy is saying that he got a vibe from Amber that she didn't like the kissing on the cheek, like it was too soon. What Troy fails to realize is that wasn't the problem. The problem was, Troy, you're kissing everybody. So Amber don't want you kissing on her. Oh, Troy, 51. You would think he'd have it down by now.
At some point, find out where you are. And, you know, a little kiss peck on the cheek, and I go for the cheek now.
Do you think kiss on cheek might be a bit too soon? Like on first day of meeting somebody?
In some instances, for some women, it might be.
Okay, well, let me say this. Troy, when you're in the presence of 10 women,
You can't kiss
kiss
everybody.
half of them.
Thank you, Uncle Nephew Tommy. Thank you.
it's not that
You
bad.
can't kiss them all.
We already know we got some fine ladies in this mix, but one more has to end her journey. So, who are we not fit?
I commend everything that's been said about Tressa. Man, I can see me kicking it with her, hanging out with her. We can probably paint the time.
David
As
thinks
far as
Tressa's a
romance,
homie.
I can't.
Not for you.
Yeah, not for me.
Not for
I
David.
kinda feel the same way David
Or
feels.
AJ.
I talk to Tressa a lot. I like her, but as far as romantically, yeah, that probably would be for me.
Tressa, she's a great spirit about her.
Or Troy.
Romantic connection with her.
Gotcha. Peach, who are we not fit?
Chrysanthemum and Kyra.
Oh, Dietrich don't like Chrysanthemum and
I
Kyra.
don't feel you. We good.
Oh, because they not into him, I guess. He like, listen, I got your vibe and I'm not it. So I'm not into you either.
Jason.
Andrea, I just think the way that I am, I'm aggressive. But
So
I also
Jason
feel
not
like
into
I don't know, my personality
the flight
is
attendant
that fit
slash
for her.
cat lady
So that's
Andrea.
why.
Yeah.
Man, Andrea's sweet, bro. But I gotta pick a bottom. She's not in my top.
Chris.
Joel said Andrea and Chris too.
You know what's crazy about you, Chris?
But Chris
You
said
usually make
Stacy
the bottom
too.
two sound sexy. Between two women. So
But it's like it's gonna be in between Andrea and Tressa. Those could be the two that I could see since Ida's already gone. So here it is. They're going to take both of those bottom two ladies out, probably Andrea and Tressa. And then one of the guys is going to deliver to that woman that she's not ready to love. So in my mind, just from hearing this little conversation, so they in like this little real sexy lounge. Like, think about a cigar lounge, right? This is where the men come and they deliberate and they keep it real with nephew Tommy, and they let him know, like, hey, I'm feeling these women, I'm not feeling these women. But I think since Tressa has 2 guys now that are checking for her, Joel said, if you've noticed, I like women with a little meat on their bones. So he likes her curvaceousness. He also likes Vernisha, who is also, she has a body, like snatched waist. You know, she's a really nice, shapely woman. And then Dietrich also put Tressa up to the top. So that while there were people who didn't feel a romantic connection with her, she wasn't at the bottom. But for like Andrea, no one put her at the top. Like, no one put her at the top. So I think she might go home.
Tressa made the biggest impression upon me, but it was still kind of tense because she was at so many guys' bottoms.
Man, so what we finna do, man?
Dietrich really did move Tressa to his top. Like, he wasn't just saying it. David is the one taking Andrea.
A little cute, thigh-high boots, and jean shorts. I thought that was pretty appropriate.
What's up, girl? Killing the boots.
Yeah, those boots are super amazing. She has little legs with a thigh high with little ripped jean shorts, super short. It was cute in a denim top. She looks cute.
What's happening?
Oh, and Dietrich is with Tressa.
It completely blew my mind.
It will suck if he's the one that sends her home.
He wanted to take me to a spice store. Now, this ain't no spice store. I'm like, what is going on? What changed your mind? What went from I'm not your type to us being here?
It's more about connection and vibe. I saw you and we had a conversation and I was like, oh, she cute.
Because, yeah, you would have to be attracted to me. I'm big and thick.
Our first night on the mixer, I really didn't talk to you
After we had that first conversation.
Right. I don't know if it just got busy, right, with everything going on around us.
I received that. I can see that.
You received that?
I received
like
that.
Church, right? So would you do anything different?
I could always put myself out there a little bit more because there were a couple of people that I didn't even get to talk to.
Yeah.
So I could be a little more assertive.
Okay, so I met with Tommy today. Okay. Me and the guys. You know. Yeah, get you a drink, get you a drink, get you a drink. You know, of course, he goes around and he asks, who's your top, who's your bottom? And the name came up quite a bit on the bottom.
Oh, wow. The guys we met tonight, right? And everybody kind of discussed, like, who is it that we're not making a connection with? And so your name came up.
I hope Tressa gets to say.
Everybody said nothing but great things about you, but I think guys was getting more of the homie vibe.
We did collectively deliberate. We all just kind of felt that you didn't put yourself out there enough.
Okay. They felt like the big sister type, you know, vibe type. Yeah. So basically, like, you have to give me like for real, like.
We did collectively deliberate. At the present time, you're not ready for love.
Okay, so Dietrich is talking to Tressa, who is the comedian. Dietrich is the chef. He's the one who switched her from his bottom to his top in week 2. And he's talking to her and he's telling her, like, you did come up a lot on the bottom. Nobody had anything bad to say about you. They think you're a cool person. They like you. They getting the big sister vibe, the homie vibe. Now, they did say, like, they didn't see a romantic connection with her. Now, him and Joel did see a connection with her. So she was on some people's top. But David is meeting with flight attendants / aka cat lady Andrea. Beautiful woman, super cute, super chic. She's well traveled. She's super timid, kind of like Chris was from last week, who got eliminated, the guy. But I guess you could be more timid as a female. However, she wasn't really putting herself out there. They didn't get to talk to her. And David just told her she was not ready to love. I think I called it yet again. I am 4-0.
Everybody said that?
It was a maturity.
Well, that's interesting.
I mean, you got a lot to offer.
But just
right?
not
It
here.
just wasn't here.
I can agree with the guys on maybe not being assertive enough.
But there's an appointed day
Amen.
that the love of your life is going to consume you
Right.
with nothing but love.
David.
I know that's right.
Well, that was positive.
Let me hug on you.
Give me some love, give me some love. Of course, I'm going to open up in the future to that person that I feel comfortable opening up to.
Oh, she cute.
But I'm like, wait though, I didn't get my connection. I didn't get my chick. Can I get my chance? You know what I'm saying? Like, just to see, you know, if there actually is something there. Basically, I won.
What?
And we want you to stay.
DJ says he won, and he gets to see if him and Tressa can like have a real good connection.
Do me like that. And I want us to go out on another date. Do you think I can possibly get another date?
Oh, he asked her out again.
I appreciate it. I actually want to go out on a date with Tressa. I've seen some people fall in love with some people just because of personality.
So Dietrich is 47.
Tressa is the dopest girl out there. How you feel?
And he's a chef. I like it. How old is Tressa? Tressa's 43, so they got good age match. Okay, guys, so that is a wrap. I want to give you again my favorite. So I know now Liz likes Joel and he likes her as well, but I still think him and Vernisha are a better match. I still would love to see that connection. I also still like Liz and David, even though I don't think they really interacted all that much on this episode. However, they were on that group date together, so there probably was times where they talked and we just did not see it. I still think they would be a good, you know, that guy vibe. I like that. I just really, really like that. And then now I'm rooting for Tressa and Dietrich. Like, it seems like they both actually kind of like each other now. And I'm hoping that they could become each other's type because they think they just super dope people and they got good vibes. I mean, that would be amazing. And Troy, I'm almost wanting him to go home because it just seems like although the plan is to come out here and, you know, see who you got a connection with, he does too much with every single person. It's like, get to know these women and then narrow it down and then maybe start becoming more affectionate. But right now, he's just like turning people off. And then Alexis definitely needs to tone it down. I know AJ is over it. He's not a fan. Even though he says she's still in the mix, but I don't think he wants her to become his wife. Like, I think people think differently of people that they're trying to wife up. You can't just be out here extra aggressive and with everybody. Because, I mean, she was on a group date when he saw her being just as sexual and aggressive with, who was she with? Dietrich, I believe, on that group date. So, Alexis, you need to tone it down, baby girl. And yeah, I'm sorry for Ida. I'm sorry that she went home, but I think she'll find somebody. Ida was a beautiful woman. She did have this awkward energy, kind of. It seemed like initially she was following Stacey around every single place, but it just wasn't working out for her. And then the other person that went home today, which was Andrea, the flight attendant, beautiful girl. I think she probably does have a great personality. I just feel like she was kind of timid and she was kind of reserved, and so people didn't get a chance to see that. So I hope maybe after the show, whoever she was initially vibing with can reach out to her if they did not find love with someone else. And yeah, or maybe for one of the other seasons, that could be nice as well. I'm gonna watch the sneak preview for next week, but thank you so much for watching Ready to Love Season 4, Episode 3. The tables have turned with me, your girl Simply Stacy. I have enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my reactions. And yes, thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share my video. It's a little lighthearted, a little fun. Somebody has some time on their hands. Definitely share my video with them. Share my podcast with them. This is another installment of the Simply Living Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, ciao.